starting the public part of the meeting. This is our chair, Councillor for Stars. He's the vice chair who's standing in tonight because the chair isn't able to be here. So what we're going to do, we've got Megan from Homebridge, late application. So the councillors will decide later, Megan, whether they're going to consider your application, but you get your chance to speak. And then it will be Rachel, who's here with her son, and then it will be Guy. Yeah. Okay, so over to you, Jeff.
Thank you very much for coming. I think you're 3 minutes apiece. So, do you want to start?
Yeah. So I'm from Homebridge, being brought up there with my parents live there. And I'm speaking on behalf of Homebridge community. So there's about 25 to 30 people. I don't know exact numbers. We had our first meeting on the 10th of March and we have the next one on Thursday. So there's 2 events that we're doing at the parish hall in Homebridge, which is next to the church. On the Saturday evening we're doing a decades party between 1952 and 2022. There's going to be music there, we're deciding DJ band, and there will be no food, but there will be a food bank outside which is optional. But the money requested today as part of the application is for the Sunday, so it's more appropriate, which is a children and family day. Same venue, just outside as well. We've got Brenda Hilton, I don't know if you know her, but she did PE and she was a sponsor for the area. So she's organising children's games and races. We've got afternoon tea where we want to encourage everyone at of all ages to be there. We're going to do that with tickets, so a bit like a faith supper. And then we're trying to get hold of brass band to come, and that will be between 11 and 4 PM. But also talking to Home Village to see if we can merge some things together. And then the money, like I said, we only just had the first meeting where it's ideas, so it's not concrete yet, but I can provide that detail. But it would be going towards decorations, so we know that we've spoken to SquarePeg, which is a Homebridge company that makes bunting. We want to get some from there. We've already paid for the cost of the venue with a donation from someone who lives coming to the meeting. So yeah, I haven't got exact cost of decorations, anything we need for the races, any contribution to brass band, that would be where the money would go to.
Do we need to suspend standing orders to ask questions?
Yeah.
Should we request to suspend standing orders? Sorry, it's the first time I've chaired a meeting, so I'm really fine.
Yeah, happy to suspend.
Right, there we go.
I don't have any questions. But...
No, I don't have any questions.
Is it free to enter them?
Sunday, yes.
Yeah.
And then the afternoon tea will be, well, we haven't quite got, if it's a faith supper then yeah, it will just be, if you brought something then you can eat for free, if you haven't then we might put a ticket, but yeah, it's very early.
Perfect, that sounds great.
And the people who are organising it did the Millennium Party, they did the Jubilee 10 years ago, and we did a Christmas one that I helped with, bringing elderly people together for Christmas. We did a big, so they know what they're doing.
Brilliant. That sounds very cool. Sounds good. Right, thank you very much. Rachel?
Hi, I'm speaking on behalf of the Upperthong School Support Group, which I chair. And every year, around May, June time, we organise a sponsored challenge for the children to take part in voluntarily if they wish. They can raise donations which go to the support group to support the school, Upperthong School. This year what we decided to do was to tie it in with the Jubilee, so throughout May up to the weekend of the Jubilee we're going to offer the children a chance to do a sponsored challenge which is going to be set in teams per class, and the children in reception and Key Stage 1 will be challenged to walk virtually, may I add, the distance from Holmfirth to Buckingham Palace, which is 180 miles. So as a class, they in their spare time at home with their parents or family members, walk however many miles they want to every weekend, and then every Monday when they come into school they'll tick off on a class chart how many miles they've done, with a view to the whole class trying to get to Buckingham Palace. The Key Stage 2 children will have an extra challenge to try and walk the same distance back home, so that they'll have a bit of an extra challenge there. But what we wanted to do for the children, to sort of commemorate the Jubilee as well and to say well done and thank you, was to buy them all a sort of a commemorative keepsake. So we've been looking at various different options, and the two that we've picked that we like are a keychain or a recycled leather bookmark, which we can get branded with the school logo on. So yeah, we need to sort of decide which of those we're going to go for, but that's what the cost of the grant will go towards funding. Every single child will get one of these commemorative keepsakes to keep and take home. So that's what we're planning.
That sounds good. How many kids will take part?
I don't know. We don't make it mandatory for all children to do it because, you know, it's a bit difficult to sort of stipulate that to children that you've got to do this. But we hope that the majority of them will take part in some way, shape or form. So we're going to say that you can either walk, run or cycle to get your miles in, because different children like to do it different ways. So, and if they see that their class are coming in on a Monday and ticking it off, we hope that that might encourage more children to take part. So regardless of whether every child takes part or not, we're still going to give out the commemorative keepsake so that it's inclusive.
Brilliant. That sounds good. Is there any questions?
I haven't got a question, but I've got a figure which might help, which
Yeah.
is there are 231 groups. It's
On,
under 231 or 213, but
It's
round up.
213.
Sorry, 213.
It's fine, I've just bought Easter eggs as well.
very good.
Hi, I'm Guy, representing the Malkinites. So the Malkinites is just, it's our street, effectively, of 5 houses. We're quite a close little street, and we decided to have a good old-fashioned street party. So because it's a cul-de-sac, there's no need to close the road off. We'll all be at the party. So the dates, we've all said yes, we can make the date. So it'll be the Sunday, the first Sunday in June. Is that the actual?
It's a weekend. There's activities on the Thursday, Friday, and Sunday.
Yeah, so it's the Sunday. So it'll be for friends and family of the residents. So it could go up to, so there's five households, so it could go to 25, 30 people there. The grant will go towards decorations and any hire of trestle tables and such like. And it'll be, I don't think we've quite decided how we're going to cater, whether we do it ourselves or we buy it in. But yeah, that's the idea, is to have a street party, lots of bunting. I've taken note of the name of the people who use it for bunting. And off the back of it, we're going to make a voluntary donation per household to the Welcome Centre in Huddersfield. Again, by consensus, was deemed a very worthy cause. And they do food parcels for vulnerable, toiletries, sanitary wear, and also a advice service for people in need. So we all thought it was a very worthy cause, and yeah, that's us, the Malkinites.
Very good. Any question? Where's your street then?
It's just set back off Woodhead Road, opposite Bottoms Mill, just past Burnley Road, the road that's closed currently.
Right.
So just about 100 yards past that, going out towards Hisham Mill. So So yeah, we just set back so it's completely safe and everybody will be there, so there'll be no need to close the road up or anything.
Very good.
Hopefully so. Hopefully good weather.
Very good. Okay, thank you very much.
So you are, you are welcome to stay. We've got other applicants to listen to, and as I said to you earlier, Megan, it will be later that the councillors will resolve whether they go. Yeah. So, but otherwise, you're welcome to leave.
I will, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
You've got to be with me.
Really good.
Come on, thank you.
So,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
I'll be in touch tomorrow.
Yes, thank you.
We go back through Chris, because Chris was the primary applicant.
Yeah, we'll do.
Okay. Thanks very much.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
mate. Bye-bye.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
No, I'm going to flip further down because that's a Jubilee.
I think it's because we've got yoga going on in there, so wow, so there's various noises coming out of that.
So have we got a sense that there's a whole load of them coming up doing exactly the same? Right, fair enough.
The next one's scheduled for 6:40. What I did was I tried to sneak some in to the public session that we've got to have, because I thought that way it cuts down time worry. So we've actually got 10 minutes now, Chair, where you can go through some of the other items before we listen to any more of the...
Okay, so we've done public question time, barring the other ones that are coming.
Yeah.
We've then got public bodies admission to meetings 1960, amended by Office of Government Bodies Regulated 2014. It's being recorded, and is everyone happy with that? Presume we are.
Yeah.
Lovely. Apologies and reasons for absence, which you've
So
already
these were
circulated.
emailed out with reasons.
Which is fine, don't get bad news. That's the full book. COVID, so we should get both, all the best.
Are there only 5 of us on the committee?
There's one, you've got Ben Lockley, who is absent.
Okay, so no apologies.
21263, members and officers' personal disclosure of peculiar interest in items on the agenda.
Sorry, I've got a personal interest in the Upthorne School Sport Group, because two of my children do that.
Very well. Duly noted. Brilliant. I haven't, but I know. 64, written request for new DPI dispensations. Any new DPI dispensations received prior to the meeting will be emailed to members prior to commencement, subsequent to the meeting will be uploaded to the Whole Valley Parish Council website.
There's none to note.
Very well. 65, items on the agenda to be discussed in private session. Are there any items that we would like to discuss in private session?
No.
Minutes of the previous committee meeting, 66. Minutes of the public comms committee meeting held on the 7th of February, number 2122, public orders 212260, inclusive B, are considered for approval. Chairman of the public comms committee to report, he's not here. Are we happy to pass them in absence? Or do we need to do it?
You can consider them to be approved.
Well, I didn't attend, so I won't be able to
Yeah, I'm
say.
happy to propose them.
That's carried. Presume I have to vote?
Yeah.
Lovely. Financial matters, committee finance report. The following items at the end of financial implications, the monies available to the committee set out in public comms, YTD project in 2122 report, which is item C, HVPC public comms budget 22-23. Monies available for 2122, 22-23 budget in relating to the upcoming agenda items. So I presume that's just a note.
Just to note that there is the money there for the grant you're about to consider.
Understood. And just for my knowledge, we've got 10 grants, each applying for up to a maximum of £100 to a total of 1,000. Queen's Platinum Jubilee applications for small grants, and meeting the 7th of February, public comms which is 10 small grants, £100 to mark the Queen's Jubilee weekend 7th to the 5th, including application for the 11th. So we have the legal part to explore bestowing these grants under miscellaneous provisions act. Click to report consider a grant application for the school support group £100. So do we want to go through these, or should we just wait?
Yeah, if I can just report first that we did have one application which I've not brought forward from the Foresters Arms for funding towards a beer festival, but on the basis that Foresters Arms in Homley is a profit-making business, we couldn't consider it. So that was one grant application we've had that has not been brought forward tonight. And then we have got this additional late applicant, which you need to consider whether you're going to consider it or not, seeing as it wasn't in the earlier papers that were sent out.
Rachel?
Can I just ask for clarification? I know I actually asked you this earlier in the day, but for the benefit of the committee, the payments, who the payments can be made to, because I'm conscious there's a mixture of formal community groups / charity
This was my question.
and individuals, like for example Malcolmite, who just heard from, where one would assume they don't have a shared bank account. I think it covers that.
Yes, so I've been assured by the Deputy Clerk that we can make payments to individuals as long as we've considered the applications on its merits.
Okay.
So we do have the legal right to do that, to make those payments to individuals.
And I think, can I just comment a bit more on that, Chair? Just say that the sort of historically, I suppose, we have our main grants that go to community assets and projects and events, which tend to be for much more than £100, and they're deliberately more complicated in terms of the evidence that's needed, and they are not available to be given to individuals. But the idea behind these small grants is we did a similar thing for World War I commemorations and the Tour de France things, but before I was a councillor, I've done them in previous years. And they're deliberately designed to be fairly simple and to just engender a sense of kind of community celebration. I don't know if Kath wants to add to that, because you've been councillor longer than I have, but I think they're designed to be a little bit more accessible to people. Therefore, I haven't realised the fact that they can be given to an individual's bank account, but I think the key is making sure we then ask for evidence that they spent it on.
They've spent the money on the stuff that they've said they would spend it on.
And so they said, we want to make sure they all go back, and we should make sure that they do send in photographs and some accounts of how they spent the money, so that we're confident that it isn't just someone who said they were doing a party and pocketed £100. I don't think, sorry, Kath,
Yeah.
to add to that.
Well, I agree with you. We do need proof that they've used it for what it's supposed to be used for. Photographs.
So did we set any criteria? It was purely a community-based thing, or whatever denomination they want to celebrate the Jubilee.
Yeah. So if you look at the forms, for example, ultimately all they ask for is
Yes, what based?
what are you doing, and how much it costs, and how much are you spending your own money on it, really. But I think, having spoken to the Deputy Clerk earlier today, and it was about other elements of finance, but it's pertinent to this, the auditor is keen that we seek evidence for stuff that's spent. So even for something like this, in the grants award, because obviously they'll then be sent a letter or at least an email from the council saying you've been successful, it should indicate obviously that they provide photos, but ask them to keep their receipts, so that if we were to ask for evidence, then they would have that there.
Yeah, that doesn't seem unreasonable.
It does,
At least
it
there's
doesn't.
some sort of due diligence that actually you have spent money on the stuff that we've given you the money for.
Yeah, so it's not making it overly onerous, but I think it does show that it's important that it's public money in the end. And because there's a slightly more relaxed criteria, I think we ought to make sure that we at least
No, that's
ask
very
for
sensible.
If I may, Chair, what I'm going to put in the minutes is that Clerk to ensure that successful applicants are asked for evidence in terms of receipts, photos and accounts when communicating with them. Okay. So
Yeah, that sounds very good.
lovely.
Okay, super duper. Is there someone there?
You sound like
Who's quite rich?
Yeah, come to it.
No?
No.
I can't say anything.
Transport idea. Well, we should have some of the other ones arrived by now, I think, shouldn't we? So I'll go there and have a look.
Okay. Yes, I think in the past, certainly for the World War ones, I don't think we ended up having just groups of individuals. It was usually formal groups or charities or something. But this is a bit different because the street party is all about just bringing people together on the street. So actually, what Marmite's suggesting, why not?
Yeah.
Really?
Someone was saying that we needed receipts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which most people, I mean, nowadays, you just take a photograph of the receipt.
Yeah.
So it's not, it's not as onerous as it was maybe. You have to photocopy it, arrange to photocopy it, and scan and whatever. It's not unreasonable. Actually, I'm glad we've got enough applications, actually.
Yeah, no, I'm pleased to see applications and people actually using money. Yeah, should be quite a bit going on that too. Was there a separate thing about adding on for a beacon? Was that already been done?
That was done at the last meeting, which was having, well,
It's a gas powered beacon, isn't it?
yeah, we haven't bought another one. If you look in a minute, you can see it. Can't believe only 10 applicants for it.
Yeah.
It's
Chair, we have Stella and Sarah from Deanbrook Road. The next applicant should be friend to friend, but they're not here yet.
Stella and Sarah, please.
Well, hello, how are you? So yes, Sarah and I live on Deanbrook Road.
neighbours.
And together with 4 other ladies, we've created an admin to organise the Jubilee Celebration. So, can I just read what...
Go for it.
some of the information on here has actually been submitted by one of our neighbours, I should say. But because of work commitment, she couldn't come tonight, so I'm kind of reading out.
No, that's fine.
Okay. Just bear with me. So, Deanbrook Road has a wonderful sense of community and warmth. Over the last 3 years, we've all come together to celebrate VE Day and Deanbrook Road Christmas Light Switch-on. Not only were these events well attended, but we also collected food bags for our local food bank and donations for the HD9 Community Brass Band. We are aiming for our Jubilee party to be a memorable, spectacular day. And here are the specifics for the actual day. So, we've applied for a temporary road closure. It's been made to Kirklees, and West Yorkshire Police and the Metro buses have already approved it, so it's looking quite hopeful that we can get part of the road closed. The section of Deanbrook Road to be closed is just under 200 metres long. This section is to be decked in traditional bunting, requiring 350 metres, which is a minimum cost of £95. There are 54 houses on the closed section. However, the other 21 households on the west of Deanbrook Road and Dean House Lane diversion route will also be invited to attend the traditional street party, bring the community together and create a true lasting memory. The 22 school-aged children on the road will each receive a Jubilee goodie bag to the value of £2.50, including a Royal Mint commemorative 50p, which takes me back to the Silver Jubilee when I got some coins. So that's a total cost of £55. There will also be prizes for the best fancy dress costume and table decorations. Total cost of £25. Residents will be encouraged to decorate their own houses and to provide their own food, tables, chairs, etc. So we'll be sharing the cost burden to ensure the success of our big Jubilee lunch on Sunday the 5th of June. And also the buntings which we do.
Yeah, anything we use for, we'll just save for any future events. Bunch will be coming out again.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. We don't need much of an excuse for some kind of get together, do we? Just brought along some pictures that show you what we did just Christmas gone. We did the light switch on, neighbours come out, much on the same vein really, if you want to have a look. I mean, it's just a fantastic atmosphere. We all come out and, you know, mulled wine and what have you.
Yeah. And quite often other neighbourhoods in Netherthorne do, because we advertise it quite well and individually post letters to the relevant people, but we do get a lot of people coming from other parts of the village to look at the spectacular.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's our application for the grants, the Jubilee grants. So
lovely. Obviously, it doesn't cover everything, but it's a big help towards what we're looking at, really.
Fantastic, thank you very much.
Okay,
Thanks for
okay.
telling us about it.
Right.
yeah,
That's
is that okay?
Right.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you. Bye.
I come in completely the wrong door and everything.
Is it Jubilee?
Yes, I'm sorry. I had no idea you were here. I thought you were in the parish church, in the hall still. You know, where the offices were.
Oh, right.
So I don't know what I was thinking. Obviously, not the right thing.
That's all right.
Sorry.
Thanks, Council.
Thank you.
So your application is for friend to friend?
That's right, yes. Do you want to stand
Yeah. No, you can sit down if you want.
Because I've not brought anything with me. I've just legged it in.
That's absolutely fine. Just tell us a bit about it.
So Friend to Friend, I don't know if you know much about Friend to Friend as a charity. We've been established within the Home Valley, well, Home and Colne Valley actually, for nearly over 30 years now. And what we do is we help and support older people to live fuller, more entertaining lives when they get past the ages of 65, 70. We've got groups in Meltham, Marsden, Holmfirth, Honley, Netherton, and we've a men's group that also meets in Meltham. But this application is specifically for the Holmfirth group, and we meet at the Holmfirth Methodist Church every first, third and last Friday of the month. We also do a seated Zumba, which is on Thursdays, but that's what we're on with at the moment, is a Jubilee Project. So from February, when we reconvened after the COVID break for Christmas, we've started a Jubilee Project. So every time we meet, we are doing a different decade of the Jubilee year. We're using actually resources from the Tulsa Museum. They do a museum in a box, which is really clever. So there's things from so they've got a box for 50s, 60s and 70s, which has been brilliant. And it's all free, which is even better. So I'm putting together a presentation to go with the box, and we're doing that. And at the end of this, every session we're getting the members, so we get on average perhaps 25, 30 elderly folk come to this session. They are mainly ladies, but we do have the odd man, but mainly ladies. And at the end of every session, they're filling in my memories from the 50s, the 60s, the coronation, whatever. And the idea is that after this project, we will have my fellow volunteer Louise calls a carpet book, which apparently is a school thing. I've never heard of that before, but it's like a big scrapbook with all these memories in from the older folk. With lots of photographs, they're bringing me photographs from each decade and things like that. We've had some absolute stonkers. And so we're going to put that all into a book, and we will be sharing that with Homeschool, because we have a pretty good link with Homeschool. We have one with Upperthorne as well, but Homeschool is a bit easier because they're smaller numbers. So we have a link with them, and we're going to share that book with them. And right at the end, which is what I'm applying for the money for, is to do a Right Royal Tea Party. And yeah, we will be doing we do a sandwich lunch anyway, but a sandwich lunch with a bit of oomph hopefully, so some cream teas and scones and things like that. So that's what I'm after some money towards, is our right loyalty. And we're having a singer as well. We've managed to organise a guy that's going to come and sing at that as well, so that would help to pay for that. It's not going to cover all the costs, but it might help to pay for some. Excellent, thank you.
No, thank you very much. Thanks.
Is that it? Any questions? Are you alright with that? Does that make sense? I think I put most of that in my thing, didn't I? So.
Oh, sounds great.
Brilliant,
Yeah, well, you know, it's funny actually, it's because of COVID and all the rest of it, we didn't meet for the best part of 18 months really. Then we nicely got going again in September, and then of course we had to shut for a bit over Christmas. And the one thing that they've said is just the being together is amazing. And we did try really hard through COVID to keep people in touch with each other. And I think I divvied everybody up between the volunteers, and they took phone calls and they sent biscuits and all sorts. So we did try very hard, and in fairness we didn't actually lose that many through the COVID period, which was nice. And the majority have come back. There's the odd one that hasn't, but the majority have come back, so that's really good news. So if we can keep them going with little small treats and fun things to do, then that's what we need to do.
Good, I'm sure it'll mean a lot.
Yeah, well, I think it means more now than it did, so that's how it is. Do you need me to sign anything out? Sign in, Lauren?
No, it's fine.
Fantastic.
Super, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Can I go out this way?
The lift if you want.
The lift.
Just be careful, there's no light down
No, there's no lights.
So
Right, that's fine.
downstairs.
And I apologise for being slightly late. I'm sorry.
I'll be in touch tomorrow, Jean.
No worries. Okay, take care. Thank you.
I have to say, friend.
Yeah, that's amazing.
They're a great group. Yeah. They do lots of intergenerational stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
I will pop down and see if we've got Susan and Carol there. We've got a couple where the applicants aren't attending. They have sent something by email, which I've included in your packs, just to be read out, really.
Yeah, that sounds really worthwhile. What a nice thing to do.
Oh, Deanbrook Road's a buzzing place to live.
Well, it
It's
looks
just
it.
above there. Because it's set down in the valley as well, so I bet lots of people enjoy the music and stuff while sense of party. Has Jen said which one's gone today?
Yes, so there is. Shows that on there.
Because there's a Ribble Valley up the top. Oh, is it on? Sorry, is it on the
I
street?
think it's on this sheet. Are they all in this pack?
Oh, not technically, hang on.
Read.
So it's Arthur Thermal Street Party and Friends of Now to School.
Ah, right, yeah.
Oh, I see, that's what we're oh, this is the extra bits.
It's good to see there's a lot of people actually doing stuff for the Jubilee. The
I'm
lots,
sure the extra bank holiday helps.
yes, the lots of bunting.
Hi.
we've got Susan from the Ribble Valley, and we've got Carol, and I've already got your name, Judy.
Hello, Judy and Susan.
From Medthon Community Partnership. So 2 applicants here. So I can use Susan.
That's okay, we'll wait for Kat.
So just waiting.
Here, how did you?
Yeah, it's really good.
Susan, would you like to start? So we've got your application, but would you tell us a bit about your application and what you're planning
Yes,
to do?
I didn't really know how to make a speech.
You don't have to.
But it was more of a chat, but well, the last Jubilee party we had, the golden one, was a huge success, and we've got a nice community spirit going on. And do you know which is the Ribble Valley? Because it sounds, not everybody knows to call that river the Ribble.
No, my geography's terrible, which doesn't
Right,
help.
okay.
Where
Well,
exactly?
it's Choppards at one side,
Oh, right.
and Arundel at the other side, and then Washpit down the bottom.
Yeah.
And then we've got Larnwells Road, so that's all, that's our sort of valley.
Oh, right.
So, so for the Jubilee party, the street party, we closed off the road, and there was about 100 people, I think. So everybody brought food and drink and, you know, and all the rest of it, and we had a jolly good time. But a lot of it's to do with the keeping the mission going as well, because it's a very old, historic, I think 1839 or something like that it was built. And we're very aware that if it's not used for the community, you know, we might lose it. So what we plan to do is we have it next to the Choppards, and then the street is closed off right in front of it, in front of the mission. And then of course we use all the facilities in there, so we'll be hiring it.
Right.
I think it's £15 an hour.
There's no grass outside, isn't there?
No, not really. It's just like a little single track road. And so we've applied to close the road, which I think that's already been done. And then we've already started buying bits and pieces, you know. Well, last time we had it, there was a lot of washing up afterwards, so we decided we're going to have paper plates and things this time, and, you know, and all the rest of the stuff. But everybody will bring their own food and drink. So really, it's for the hire of the hall and extras.
Right. Very good. Thank you very much. Sounds like good fun.
Yeah, I hope so. Yes. Fingers crossed for a nice day. Is there anything else you'd like?
No, we'll be able to hear you tomorrow on the top of Dunford Road, so.
Oh, yeah.
Loud enough, we'll hear you.
Yeah, well, I don't know what we're All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Shall I go?
You
Do
can
you
go.
want me to stay on?
No, you're welcome to go.
Oh,
If you go by the steps, just mind because there's no light.
Oh, all right then. I'll be fine. Thank you very much.
Right.
Because of rain damage, rather than intentionally.
So Carol and Judy are from Judy, sorry, are from Netherthon Community Partnership.
Lovely.
Yeah, I'm Carol. I'm the person who sort of organises the fundraising, and Judy's the trustee of Netherthon Community Partnership. I've just done a little brief bit of writing here. Since the charity was formed, Netherthon Community Partnership, in 2019, we've held many events at All Saints Church in Netherthon, which have been well supported with residents of the village, friends and family. We'd love to receive this grant as it would help us to buy items for the Queen's Jubilee Celebrations event, which we're planning to hold on Saturday, June 4th. And that's where we hope families then can come along and join in with all the activities we've planned for the day. We're still in planning mode. We have quite a few things that we've talked about doing, treasure hunts around the village, afternoon tea, all sorts of things going on within the church, which games, we've even bought a jigsaw, which is, we're big on jigsaws at Netherthong, which is, we have a Netherthong jigsaw exchange, which people come along and if they want to exchange a jigsaw for another one. So we've bought, I can't remember which cathedral, which church cathedral it is in London. I got it from a charity shop, so we've got that to go on to be put together. Drawing activities and things for the children, so money that we'll receive from this will be a big help towards buying the bunting, the plates, things that we can use for the event as well. So we've done various things up at the church, and as a brief explanation I think on your form as to what Netherthong Community Partnership is all about, which is saving Netherthong Church from closure, which was discussed in a public meeting in about 2018. Not many resident community, what do you call them? People that go to church. There's not congregation. That's the word I was looking for. There's not that many now, and obviously funding for the church to keep it running and up and going. So a charity was formed, which was us, and
we wanted to use it more as a community centre, although leaving it as a place of worship as well, but to make it more of a
so they can hire
sort of thing.
So it's important to us, being residents of the village, excuse me, to keep the building and to keep it going. So events like this, as we've found out from starting with events that we've done at the church, it's been massive with the local residents that have turned out, and people that have come and seen each other for years, even though they live in the same village, and they were at the first Christmas fair that we had, the first one in September 2019, and they said, how amazing it was for it to be brought back to life, because these events used to go on obviously in the past, and things become different, don't they, over the years, and things stop. So using it as a community building. So the Queen's Jubilee is quite important to us, being a royalist as well, for the community again to come out and be part of.
We've got a marvellous photo that gets shown around a lot of the coronation party in the village, which they did a parade past the club. It's outside the Clothiers pub, so it'll be lovely for us to get a picture.
Although we probably
they're not
won't be able to do some of those things, but for the children to come, and we have things like dressing up competitions. We've got a Hunt the Crown treasure hunt going to go on. People are going to display a crown in the window and things like this. So basically all that money will go in towards buying things that we need.
Super.
So it's important for us to keep that building going for the community, and this will be a great chance for everybody to come out again together, especially after the 2 difficult years we've had. So,
good, well I hope it goes well for you. You've got 12 weeks left, and if anything's to go by, get your bunting ordering quick.
Yes.
Don't run on the bunting.
Yes, exactly, because it's all going to go, isn't it? Because everybody's going to order online, and it's all going to be run pretty quick. But yes, I'm big on bunting, so so every time we do an event, the church railings are completely full of bunting. So it's a beautiful place and a lovely church, and we want to keep it and to do
as Carol says, it's my children are in the early 30s now, and it's lovely to meet up with people who you haven't seen since the kids were at school. It's a great way that we're getting everybody back together again.
And this is the perfect way after COVID to come together again as a village.
Good. Well,
anything you'd like to ask us?
No, I think it's great as well that I'm conscious that Netherthong's had lots of new housing as well, so it's a nice opportunity to bring everyone together.
It's a very good point, that.
And we have had 2 ladies on the fundraising team actually have come to into one of the new houses, and they don't know anybody, and they joined, and they've been helping us. So
it's
that's
expanded the village.
It has got a lot bigger, but yeah, so it's again for, and one of my neighbours, because I live on New Road, but one of my neighbours, his children used to go to the school back in the day, and we met people at the past events we've done, and he says, I can't believe how many people I've bumped into that my children went to school with, so this is a great way. And if it's nice, we can have all the tables and chairs outside as well, so people can, you know, enjoy the sunshine, hopefully.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Good luck.
So,
Good luck.
all right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. See, which way was it? Down this one?
If you go there, there's not a light there. You might be able to
go in the lift. Yeah. We didn't hear a fall anyway, did we?
This is the screen.
Thank you.
So we have one more attendee from High Town Lane resident. I'll go down shortly and see if she's here. The other two, Chair, are not attending. That's Upper Street Party and Friends of Nav School. But they have both emailed some supporting words that I've included in your packs, I think.
Read that out, then we'll have a chat about that one. Right, go through them one.
So I'll...
Where's High Town Lane? So you're the resident expert.
Literally here.
Good job, Alice. He's got some idea of the geography, isn't it?
So I'll read out the... I'll read out the Upper Street Party one first. So, following the success of Upper Village Hall's annual Christmas Carol concert being held in Towngate for the first time rather than the hall, to ensure COVID regulation safety was met, feedback highlighted it was very popular with the many villagers who attended. This indicated the proposal to hold a big Jubilee lunch in Towngate on Sunday the 5th of June, open to all in the village as, although residents in many other village roads will be holding their own celebrations, there are others who don't have that opportunity and are keen to come together on this significant anniversary of Queen Elizabeth's reign. This event is being organised by villagers, supported by the Village Hall and the Royal Oak in Upperthon. We are applying for funding to contribute to the purchase of new bunting to decorate Towngate in addition to party packs, which include commemorative flags, hats and so forth. The bunting will be reusable, installed at the Village Hall for future events. This grant will be supplemented by donations collected in the Royal Oak, along with the collection at the Christmas Carol concert, to ensure an event in June for all to come together and celebrate this incredible milestone in Queen Elizabeth's reign. We have our next village meeting on Tuesday the 22nd of March, have already funded promotional Jubilee posters and flyers, and have volunteers to disseminate the information throughout the village, including involving the school and the village cricket club. Thank you for considering this application, and costings are available and will be supplied should these be requested. Okay, shall I go down and see if Vicky Haley is here? And then there's just one more to read out after that.
Seems like we need a central repository of bunting, doesn't it? A massive load of bunting to be sure.
I've got loads to get to.
I mean, yeah, but you'll be bedecking your B&B with it, though, won't you?
I need to vote in as well.
Mm.
You know.
Well, we've got loads for the kids' birthday.
Yeah, I've got it, but it goes tatty quite quickly, though. So
Yeah, we've got cotton stuff, and we've had it for, must be 10 years.
yeah, I guess it depends how long you leave it out, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, we left it out as well. Anyway, yeah, got so
I think we might be in a position to make a proposal that covers all of them. Yeah, expeditious for that. Even though I think one of the, was it Friends Friend only asked something like that?
Yeah.
But for what she said, it was obviously a contribution sure if we were minded to treat everybody equitably, I'm sure they wouldn't mind.
Yeah,
Okay, not here yet, so shall I read out the information from our schools? So, we believe that it would massively benefit the children of Homeford and would help their knowledge and education of the Jubilee and British heritage. We love to get the children involved in the process as much as possible, so would make sure in the run-up to the Jubilee and tea dance that the children learnt about the Queen and what the Jubilee is celebrating by making their own decorations for the event, gives them a sense of pride when they walk into the room and helps the younger children learn about the event. We think it would be amazing for the children to dance through the ages, seeing what dances were popular in that era and bringing a fun way of learning about British culture. We'd love to be able to provide all children with a commemorative Jubilee coin that they can look back on in years to come and talk about to their children with.
very good.
I'll give them a, can I suggest, give them a waiting for one, and there's a limit of £100 on what any of them can apply for. But we, obviously we can't make a decision on one we haven't heard from yet. But can I suggest we, from all we've heard, I would say that they all merit the awarding of grants. They're going to bring jollity and celebration into the valley. And it's nice to see there's quite a range of places, although interesting they're all this end of the valley, not Honley or Coles area. But that said, it might be useful for the committee to be aware that I can't remember if it's Friends of, what was it, Honley, one of the Honley groups, I think it's Honley Village Trust, came to F&M, the Finance and Management Committee, last week, I think it was, and they got some funding towards a project that they were doing, which is a much bigger project.
Right.
That was associated with the Jubilee. So there has been, it's not that that part of the valley hasn't had any funding, albeit this is a different funding stream, but you know, it's not that there aren't activities happening in that end of the parish councils.
Good. As long as they're big in that area, been aware of it, they don't feel
Yeah.
like missed out. That's great. There's celebrations across the.
So I'd like to propose that for all the ones we've heard from, so for the,
Do we want to add?
we can work through them one at a
First
time,
we've-
like.
Do we have to propose? Do we have to propose to add the one that was
The late
late
application.
and then do?
Oh, okay,
all?
yeah.
So
Can I propose we add the Homebridge one? So they've submitted all this paperwork and everything. So.
yeah. Right. So we're proposing to go with the 9 of the 10 and just wait for Vicky Haley from Highturn Lane residents. Okay.
Yeah.
You're proposing on.
Trustee Sheehy,
Yes. Why not?
It's been quite nice hearing a bit more about what they're doing.
Yeah, it does feel like you're putting people under the screw. Tell us a bit
Yeah.
about it, but it's genuinely nice to know, especially some that have no idea these things exist. Plus, as you say, it's nice to see the range of people just having a street party with half a dozen families who live in a cul-de-sac to people around the church and people doing stuff with
Yeah.
elderly groups of people. It's really nice.
That's a good spread of things, isn't it? And remarkably easy decision making for us, given we have 10
Yeah.
applicants and
10. Yeah, 10 lots of money.
I think Netherthorne was the place to be there.
Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't
People
it?
up road in Netherthorne and then Netherthorne and stuff happening on the Saturday and Sunday,
Mm.
doesn't it?
Well, my normal walk goes up past Chopard and then I can cut back round up the top, so I'm away though, I'm down in London. I'm going to be celebrating.
fronting up in London?
Yeah.
Are you organising an event?
Yeah, I'm on Jubilee team working for DCMS.
Oh, okay.
Site control in 3 days.
Cool.
We've got trooping, and then there's a big party, and then there's a parade project. So, yeah, it's a busy weekend. That will be a lot of bunting and a lot of people.
Did the captain know where our beacon was?
No. It's not being tracked down.
Oh, is this the one that was lost in the basement? Or that you
I believe so, yeah.
Mm.
Yep, everyone knows where it's gone. Wherever it is. It just, I mean, it looks like a
Brazier.
giant, no, it looks like a giant Bunsen burner.
Yeah.
It's literally just a long metal pole. The gas comes out the top of it. It's not elegant in any sense.
So it could have easily gone skip.
So I mean,
Yeah.
people didn't know what it was. But I think we decided at the last meeting that the basically the beacon on top of Cliff Wreck is a permanent beacon, and we would support that event rather than trying to host a separate event via a separate beacon. But in future, there's nothing to stop the council deciding it wants a beacon that it can transport out. And then the RICS, which are the chartered surveyors,
Yeah.
we're happy to do an event on, or we're proposing doing an event on top of Home Moss, which again we said, go ahead, if that's what you want to do.
All on the same weekend, I presume.
Well, it's all part, there's a lighting beacons across the country. The challenge of Home Moss though is you can't put many people on there, because there's nowhere to park, so.
It's a bit windy as well.
So, yeah, well, we've done it in November. It's very windy, isn't it? I nearly lost a child. So do you remember that bucket with the gravel there?
Mm.
We had to put that on bottom, and then it blew away.
Mm.
My daughter had it. It's like, oh! She didn't see me out into the water. So windy. Hello.
Hello.
You're
not presenting.
You don't live on
Hightown.
Hightown.
No, I'm just going to take a quiet seat and pretend I'm not here.
Is there anyone on Hightown, or are they not?
No. I'll go down again and just chat. I did say the
You haven't seen the trailer outside,
Can
have
I
you?
propose to make a decision on the basis of the
Yeah,
information we
right
have?
at 10
Yeah.
o'clock and it shouldn't be until 7.
Have a look again.
And I've tried ringing
I
him.
think
That's one of the Hightown residents from PPA.
Right,
Let's have a look.
he'll probably park up outside.
Right. I suppose I'm possibly not getting in the car.
Build here, right?
It's page 30. No, that one. Towards the cost of quarterly food and decoration.
Right, so it's very well thought.
Organiser paying for pig roast and other donations where it and it's registered residents of Hightown, Beach Road, sorry, Beach Street, Wood Lane, Upperfield Road. So it's basically a block, it's a rectangle around here.
So based on the information provided, would we be happy to vote on passing them on?
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Duly carried.
Right.
Fantastic.
Lovely.
Short work of that.
So it's just coming up to 7:20, 7:19. Finishing to travel.
Well, thank you very much. So I can close the meeting. Do I need to know this?
Jen, can I just ask, will we, obviously we'll notify you, but can I just ask that we make sure we publicise the fact that we have awarded those grants on our website, Facebook page?
I'll put that in the minutes, his clerk was unsure.
Obviously once we've been told. I mean, I would suggest it's kind of a, not quite a generic thing, but to say we're very pleased to support street parties in the following areas. We don't have anything necessarily, I mean, it's all public information where it is, but, in Leatherthorne, in Ribbon Valley, in
is a theme for Rich, which includes some quotes on some of the things they've said today, because it's been quite lovely, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Over the years.
That's really
yeah, just a range of things. It's a nice story, you know, there'll be lots of things happening